Bless America, sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Brasil, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, México, Cuba, República Dominicana, Jamaica, Haití, las Antillas, United States, Canadá, a mi motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí.
If you watched the Super Bowl LX halftime show this past Sunday, you saw a spectacle. You saw fireworks, you saw Lady Gaga, you saw a massive party on the world's biggest stage. But if you just watched it, you might have missed the point entirely. Because what Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, Bad Bunny, did on that stage wasn't just a performance. It was a Trojan horse. It was a history lesson, a political protest, and a love letter to Puerto Rico disguised as corporate entertainment. Usually, the Super Bowl is about conformity. It's about appealing to the widest possible denominator. Bad Bunny did the exact opposite. He forced 100 million viewers to step into his world on his terms. Today, we are breaking down everything. The outfits, the set design that told a 15-year story, the guests that blurred the line between celebrity and real life, and that unbelievably controversial moment with the Grammy Award that everyone is still talking about. Buckle up. We're going deep into El Conejo's mind. To understand this show, you have to ignore the lights for a second and look at the floor. The set design wasn't just aesthetic, it was a chronological timeline of Puerto Rican identity. The show didn't start with explosions. It started in silence, in a field. This isn't just nature. This is a sugarcane field. For centuries, Puerto Rico's economy and its exploitation by colonial powers, first Spain, then the US, revolved around sugar. By starting here, dressed in white, echoing the traditional hibaro, or farmer attire, Benito is grounding this global event in the literal soil and ancestral trauma of the island. Then the transition. We move from the agricultural past to the vibrant present. This set is a tribute to Chinchorreo culture. For those outside the culture, Chinchorreo is the art of hopping between roadside kiosks, bars, and family homes. It's community, it's loud, it's multi-generational. Notice the details, the domino tables, the specific type of plastic chairs. He brought a real neighborhood block party to the NFL. But my favorite detail in this section? Look right there. In the middle of the chaos, there's a small child sleeping soundly on two chairs pushed together. If you grew up Latino, you know this image. It's the universal experience of falling asleep at the family party while the adults dance merengue until 3 a.m. around you. It's a masterstroke of nostalgia that signals to his core fan base. This is for us. But the party isn't without its problems. This leads us to the most overtly political part of the set design. During El Apagón, which literally translates to the blackout, the stage becomes a grid of sparking, failing electrical pylons. This is a direct, aggressive protest against Puerto Rico's notoriously unreliable power grid. Since Hurricane Maria, and worsened by recent privatization efforts, the island suffers constant, debilitating blackouts. He is forcing the world to look at the infrastructure crisis his people live with daily, even while they dance. Bad Bunny never gets dressed just to look good. Every stitch of clothing is intentional, and his main look for the night carried a heavy double meaning. He wore a custom white jersey. On the back, his mother's surname, Ocasio, and the number 64. On a personal level, this is a tribute to his late uncle, an athlete who wore that number. It's Benito honoring his lineage. But in the context of Puerto Rican history, the number 64 is a loaded weapon. After Hurricane Maria devastated the island in 2017, the official government death toll hovered around 64 for a tragically long time. Everyone on the island knew this was a lie. They were burying their dead by the hundreds. Subsequent studies placed the real toll closer to 3,000 or even 4,600. The number 64 became a symbol of government negligence and the erasure of Puerto Rican lives. By wearing it on his back at the Super Bowl, Benito is saying, "We remember the truth." We also have to give massive props to Lady Gaga. She understood the assignment. She didn't just show up in a designer gown. She wore a deep blue, and pinned to her chest was an intricate brooch of a Flor de Maga. The Flor de Maga is the national flower of Puerto Rico. It was a subtle, elegant gesture of solidarity and respect to the host culture of the evening. It showed she wasn't just there to promote herself, she was a guest in Benito's house. Usually, Super Bowl guests are about maximum star power. Who will break the internet? Bad Bunny had stars. Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, Karol G, and Young Miko were all there in the party section, but they weren't performing. They were just hanging out. It reinforced the idea of a hangeo, a real gathering of friends, rather than a corporate showcase. But the guests that really mattered weren't the A-listers. First, the wedding. That wasn't actors. That was Elisa and Thomas, a real couple who actually got legally married on that stage during the set. Why? Because Benito has been preaching that love is the only thing powerful enough to defeat hate. He didn't just say it, he facilitated a real act of love on global TV. And then there is Tonita. If you aren't Puerto Rican, you probably missed this. That older woman he hugged, that is Maria Antonia Cai. She is the legendary owner of the Caribbean Social Club in Brooklyn, one of the last remaining authentic Puerto Rican social hubs in New York. By putting Tonita on stage, Benito is bowing to the elders. He's honoring the diaspora, the Puerto Ricans who had to leave the island but kept the culture alive in places like New York. It was a beautiful gesture of respect. All right, we have to talk about it. The moment that made every record executive choke on their shrimp cocktail. It happened so fast, but the symbolism here is heavy. Throughout his career, Bad Bunny has had a complicated relationship with the American music industry. He's won the awards, but he's always said they don't define him. He sings about how Grammy peaks don't matter as much as the respect of the street. This gesture had two massive meanings operating at the same time. Number one, it was the ultimate devaluation of industry validation. By treating the highest honor in music like a cheap party favor he just found on a shelf, he is visually saying, "This gold statue, it doesn't own me. I don't need this to know my worth." It's punk rock. But number two, and more importantly, it was an investment in the future. He didn't throw it in the trash. He gave it to a child, specifically a brown-skinned Puerto Rican child watching him from the sidelines. It was a literal passing of the torch. He's saying that his success, his gold, only matters if it serves the next generation. He's telling that kid, this is accessible to you. You are the heir to this kingdom, not the people in the suits. It was arrogance toward the industry and total humility toward his community, all in one 3-second gesture. The Super Bowl halftime show is usually designed to make you buy Pepsi or download an album. Bad Bunny used it to make you think about colonialism, energy crises, historical trauma, and the resilience of a people who have been disregarded for centuries. He didn't compromise his language, his sound, or his aesthetic to make middle America comfortable. He forced the mainstream to come to him. And in doing so, he delivered perhaps the most culturally significant halftime show since Prince. But that's just my read on it. I know the internet is divided on the Grammy moment. Was it disrespectful or was it genius? I want to hear from you in the comments down below. Did you catch the 64 reference? Did the sugarcane opening land for you? Let's argue about it. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. Until next time, keep watching closely.